Good dog, and welcome back to the Norwegian campaign. We are now at war with Spain, and this is not going to be a long war because they got one task force. It's a pretty big task force, lots of ships, but well, they are technologically very behind, and they have been very behind for a long time. And I know they have not built a single ship in decades. So not only are they very behind technologically, this task force here consists of very old ships. Because, well, they don't have any new ones. Will I add some ships to this task force here? I think I will. Let's add a couple of destroyers. Do I have any more Vikings nearby? Just would be nice to start off the since we're fighting so many ships. Be nice to start off with a big torpedo volley. Haven't done that in a while. Somewhere here. There we go. Another Viking. Let's hope they actually get added together and I'm not sending like single destroyers out to fight. I don't want to send the K-Class or the Patterson or any of the gunboat destroyers. I think we're good. I think we're good here. Any other Vikings are probably just too far away. No, they're not. We got 3 more here. There we go. That should leave me with 6 Viking-class destroyers in total, alongside this task force, which is not... it's not a big task force in terms of number of ships, but in tonnage, I think we outweigh them. Mainly thanks to this big boy here, the KNM Edvard Grieg, which is, to my knowledge, the biggest battleship afloat. Granted, it was built in Germany. I can't build anything that big myself. Oil discovery. No thank you, Greece. Spain is now also blockaded. And we do get our meeting, which will... Okay, we do get a strike too first. And here we go. That was exactly what I was after. I love it when a plan comes together. Yeah, that's a lot of destroyers, all right. A lot of heavy cruisers. Well, let's see. They don't look terrible on paper, but note the cost. 200,000. That is about what you would expect from a heavy cruiser in like the 1920s maybe, which is when I suspect these were built. Same with the this battleship. That's a pretty big one. 72,000 tons. It's fast too, so it's a modern battleship. But plus 120% armor quality, that is pretty old. Also 14-inch guns. Yeah. We're looking at some antiques here. Near enough. And I hear thunder. Oh, yeah. I was just wondering what the heck is up with my battleship. No, it's just the like the thumbnail being too big, so the bow and stern are cut off. Yeah, it's a modern battleship, all right. I mean, it doesn't look terrible, but we'll see. I wonder if the weather will be an advantage or a disadvantage for the Spanish. Let's see, heavy cruisers. You're just gonna follow the big ships. Now, depending on exactly how old these Spanish ships are and how outdated they are, they might not have radar. Which means potentially in this weather, my destroyers might get very close, unspotted. See, my destroyers are accelerating. They started out following the battleship, so their speed was reduced because of that. But also I think the speed is being reduced because of the weather. It's not shown here, but sometimes that is... there we go. Yeah. Sometimes it doesn't update. You can see my battleships are a couple knots short of their top speed. But incidentally, bang on their cruising speed. These battleships are not sailing as fast as... And of course, they are smaller and they've got less engine efficiency. So Edward Grieg might have to slow down. So as to not outsail them. Anyway, where is the enemy? And I am spotting their flagship. It's not terrible. I would have put one of these main gun turrets on that built-in barbette and potentially gotten like an ABC super firing setup. That might have been possible. Mark II 14s. This is very old. Yeah, no radar. Only Mark II 14s. That is old. That's 1910s era technology. Which means we can get very close without taking a single hit. And by very close, I mean like 20 kilometers, which in 1958 is very close. I'm curious to see what kind of torpedoes they have on those destroyers. Yeah, my big guns are opening up at a range of like 40 kilometers. And we are scoring some huge hits. We're also spotting a whole bunch of destroyers. Torpedo range 10 kilometers. Yeah, that is probably the best you can do. How about the light cruisers? Yeah, about the same. So this is their big flagship, the one we looked at, their big battleship. Their other battleship, Mark II 15s. At least it's got Citadel 5. It's not too old. It's got stereoscopic 5, which is also pretty good, but no radar. These are right before they got radar. Coincidence 5, no radar on the battlecruiser. Mark III 11s. Yeah, okay. I'm not going to bore you with the details of every single ship. I think we've established that they are a bit past their prime. I'm not concealing the targets now with my own smoke. I think I am. That is suboptimal. Oh, we're fine. Now the enemy is smoking up. I need to get to within 22 kilometers. I think we're just gonna do one torpedo volley from each squadron. They've not been spotted yet. They are 13 kilometers away from a heavy cruiser. And currently invisible. I mean, you'll love to see that. Let's just have everything launched to within the center of the enemy formation. See what we can get done with that. Oh, come on! Okay, hope they didn't like pick some dumb target. Now that their main target went invisible. These have already launched. Darn it. Okay, what can you see? Can you see this battleship? You can. Well, I mean, you can hit it. You have the range. Let's get those torpedoes away before that battleship turns invisible. So you don't end up wasting it on something else. There we go. That's not, like, ideal. In terms of torpedo spread. But with this weather, it's kind of hard to see exactly where the enemy smoke screens are. Unless you zoom in. There we go. First torpedoes are striking home. We're gonna get a couple more. Probably. Got 4 torpedo hits so far. There we go. First on the battleship. Then on some of the other escorting ships. I think we're gonna get that battlecruiser too, maybe. No. It was something. That was still 16 torpedo hits. Granted, many of them 17. We're not done yet, I guess. Many of them on ships that were already sinking. So this sinking heavy cruiser took a few after it was done. But, oh, here we go. 2 more on the intended target. And a flash fire on the enemy flagship. And I was again a little bit too slow with the pause button there. So didn't get the actual flash. Which does look good in this kind of weather, the way it lights up. I'm gonna bring my heavies in closer. We can get much closer. The only issue is my somewhat lackluster maneuverability. This big thing. It's not slow, it's just kind of glacial the way it turns. They don't have the pen or the range to do anything, really, to my ships. That is perhaps famous last words, but in this case, I think my cockiness is well deserved. Are we gonna load some HE now? Just finish these guys off before we run out of ammunition. Because we're just getting over pens with AP. There we go. That is one battleship almost done by a single salvo. It is in fact pretty much done. It's gonna flood out. So Edward Gregg, you can switch targets. You can in fact all switch targets. That is one battleship sunk. Their flagship, in fact. And the other one, too. Their main advantage being their numbers. Lack of ammunition might be an issue for me. Then again, I got secondary batteries that can outgun their primaries fairly easily. Yeah. My heavy cruisers are now opening up too. There we go. Everyone has a target. Eight-inch guns are not quite in range yet. But almost. Almost. They're gonna start opening up very soon. There we go. Damage is stacking up. I've not taken a single hit. I mainly sent my destroyers home to not have to worry about them. I'll just need to forget about them for a couple of minutes, and then suddenly they're in the middle of the enemy formation and they're taking hits and getting sunk. And if possible, I would like this victory to be perfect. I want to see a 0 here when we're done. Ah, we're taking incoming. We're getting close enough. Also a 0 in terms of damage. Yeah, it's Victoria. How about you sink soon? There we go. I think you're done now, Victoria. I think you're done now, yes. Okay. New targets. Let's take a look at the enemy heavy cruisers. I'm just curious. They're kind of good looking. I'm kind of digging them. Very long 9.5-inch guns. I mean, that's decent armor. That is a good heavy cruiser for whenever it was built. Not so much now in 1958. More incoming fire. Who has the audacity to fire at my battleship? Oh, that is perfect with the lightning strike. That's something I've tried to do previously. Get like pulse it right as the lightning strike was striking. A lightning bolt. But that's difficult to time. And now by chance I just got it right. Okay, so all the capital ships are down. The heavy cruisers are basically gone. I got decent range on those 9.5 inch guns on the heavy cruisers. Even if they're only Mark III, but they're so long. And now it's just a slaughter. "22 torpedo hits, though, in the end. That was not bad. I didn't even bring them back for the reload. Could have gotten a few dozen more. Is there anything still alive here? These two destroyers. 3, I guess. 2 now. 1. Tarifa. You don't stand much of a chance. I'm sorry. And that was that. No damage taken. 2 hits, but no damage. Yeah, that is as perfect as you can get it. I didn't even run out of ammunition, which I kind of thought I would. Edward Grieg with 700,000 damage, and everyone else with quite a lot too. 158,000 out of one of the Vikings. All of the Vikings scored torpedo hits. 4, 6, 2, 3, 1, and 6. That's not often you see every single destroyer scored at least 1 torpedo hit. That's pretty nice. And with that, I guess it's just naval invasions until Spain is done. Let's see, events. So I'm just going to pause it here and bring you back when the deed is done. I'm just going to launch an invasion of western Spain so my army doesn't end up taking it. Easy. I have more than enough of the tonnage. Alright, see you in 1959, 1960, I guess. Okay, I just wanted to bring you back to check out the epic battle of the Easter Island, where Spain lost a total of 3 soldiers. So, yeah, a couple more months and this war is over. And actually, the army ended up taking western Spain before my naval invasion was complete. So that's a bit added unrest there, but it's not too serious. We're gonna earn it back. I just thought that was. I did not expect that army advance to move that quickly and that overwhelmingly. Like 4,000 versus casualties versus 125,000. That's kind of brutal. But nothing compared to the epic special military operation on Easter Island. I appear to have been a little bit mistaken. Spain has more territory, East Philippines, and some islands here. So we're gonna have to go and deal with that. Let's see. Do I have any available ships? I do. Shouldn't take much to get this done. Yeah, let's send out some ships. Can I? No. Cannot initiate that yet, because they're not in position yet. Alright. So that war is going to last a little bit longer than anticipated, but I'm not going to bother you with every single turn that happens. There we go. Didn't I have... Yeah, here we go. Another squadron of battlecruisers. Almost forgotten about. That's great planning. Oh, I just forgot they had stuff here too. And here, even, in the Yellow Sea. Alright, we're gonna have to deal with this. Is that enough tonnage now for me to know? So these will have to perform the invasion, and why didn't my army take this instead of darn it, now the army is actually going to take this before this invasion completes, because I'm sending almost 2 million men up against an army of 0. How do they have an army of 0? Army force 342,000, which is all located who knows where. Not here. Well, then where is their army force? That makes no sense. Anyway. Also, you know what? I'm just gonna start accepting alliances. I accepted an alliance from Greece. Let's do Germany as well. So yeah, they're paying me. That's good. Where did that unrest come from? Oh, no, wait, I know. I know where that came from. Let's do the strike first. And click through. Yeah, there we go. Car. We've taken the Central African Republic. Which was, let's see, here. It was like an independent nation that the army just decided that they were going to take. So that was where that came from. But we're going to earn it back once these are done, which will be very soon. Also, China has taken back northern China from ungoverned territory. I'm kind of pissed that the army went and just did stuff here instead of letting my naval invasion succeed. Instead of, attacking ungoverned territories here, which would be very useful for actually connecting the eastern and western Norwegian Empire. But there we go. That's what happened and what didn't happen. And there we go. The Spain has been dissolved due to losing all ports. That was what I was trying to do with Britain, but they had this one little island that they didn't give me. And by the way, they're still churning out ships. They've got almost 400,000 tons of shipping in this little port that supposedly only has a capacity of 2,600 tons. And they are building 15 more ships, including battleships, I've noted. So they're keeping busy. I left them these areas here, thinking that if I took all their ports, they were going to dissolve. And I was just hoping that they would actually give me all I asked for, but they kept this one. So they're still in the game. And they are now one of the few nations I'm not allied with. But that said, I don't think there's gonna be another war in this campaign. So what I'm gonna do now is let's see, we're gonna do a refit of the Dovre class battleship, because I just had a couple of things I wanted to fix with it. So let's do that, end the episode, and then the next one will be something special. So Veermainen, Ilmarinen become museum ships, as have Maud and Marta. Let's see what else. All the Brage 2 class light cruisers, also museum ships, or at least mothballed. Some of them, like Embla, have just performed way above what they should be able to. So, famous ship right there. Dannebrog has been museum shipped. Svea and, let's see, Kronan, Sten Sture, Holgeranske, they've all been turned into museum ships in Göteborg. I've moved in the 4 new battleships to take up their station. And what else? Let's see, that French one, Kurland, turned into a museum ship in La Rochelle, in former France. Same with that one American battleship, Morgan Kane, in Portland. I just thought that was fitting because, well, they're my allies now, so kind of giving the ship back to them, but not really. Now let's do some refits. She's not had a refit for like 15 years. Let's see how much the repeatable techs will do in terms of weight savings. I think we're gonna save a couple of tons at least. Not really. Okay, that's a bit disappointing, but okay. It didn't really save much there, but I think we can save some. 2.1 flash fire chance. Why? Is it because of the electric 2 steering? Even with Barbette 5. 4.8. Is it because of the heavy shells, maybe? That might be it. That might be it. I was hoping that we're gonna save a lot of weight here by doing this, but apparently not. That's strange. Okay. I want to see if I can move this a little bit further aft, get some slightly better angles on it. Can I do auto 2 reloading? Almost. It turns the reload time down quite a bit. I thought I was gonna get like really amazing weight savings out of this, but apparently not. There we go. Can save some, shave off some weight there off the deck. Shouldn't that armor quality be like 202%? With the repeatable text? Kind of strange that it isn't, but okay. I didn't know I had reduced the displacement of this hull so much for this design. Okay, I think we're done with the refit here. It wasn't really that much to do. I was hoping I would hang on, we can save some more weight here. Slightly up the fore and aft belts, because that was the issue I was having. It was taking a bit too much damage from cruisers. Bit of an aft weight offset. That's fine. Deck hits don't seem to be a thing, so we can reduce that. Alright. Let's see if I can design something else on the same hull, but just max it out. See how big I can make it. Because we're now doing the, basically the Tharkin Doctrine, if you're familiar with it. I need something big to just sail around and show the flag and keep people in line, basically. 101,000 tons. It has to do 28 knots, though. That's the speed of the battle line, and it is a, come on, stop lagging, stupidly long and slender hull. So we're gonna have to fatten it up just a little bit, Like so, maybe. Actually fatten it up a little bit more. It still looks very long. Big triangular tower. Oh, that's a 11,000 meter tower spotting. I guess we can do that. Do we have a matching? That's just the same tower, but in reverse. I put that there, and let's see. I just want to see if I can fit. I can fit 2 funnels on the main tower. So there's no reason to pick a secondary tower with a funnel slot. I guess that kind of works. Like, aesthetically. As for engines, diesel is an option. I mean, cost is no, we don't care. %140 engine efficiency. That's good range. How about with 37,000 tons? I don't care about maintenance cost. 37,000 tons. 140% engine efficiency. Turbo electric and balanced spoilers 164. 41,000 tons. Better range. And all the other added benefits. I think we're gonna go with that because that's kind of the standard. And let's see. Yes, percentage of top speed to achieve cruising speed. That is one of the advantages of diesel. You get 75% or 80 with diesel 1 versus 72.5%. But if you sail them at the same speed, even if that's gonna slightly exceed the cruising speed with the turbo electric, if you sail it at what would be the cruising speed of diesel 1, you're still gonna get better accuracy because instead of plus 15% engine vibration, you get where is it? Minus 60%. So that's one of the reasons I like turbo electric drive. That and, you know, all the other benefits that you get in the package. Guns, we are of course going with 20-inch guns. There is no other option. I might have to adjust the superstructure here, but we can fix that. And I think we're just gonna go ABXY. These look so tiny, the Mark V turrets with the like American style turret housing. Let's see. Now, if we go with powder 2, TNT 4, okay, we're already at 0% flash fire. With heavy shells, still 0. Still 0. Why was it not 0 when we refitted the other ship? Okay. Maybe it's probably something to do with the don't I get... I guess I don't. Anyway, so it's not because I increased the hull size. I don't know. Maybe it just wasn't updating correctly. But Barbet 2 and still 0%. That is good enough for me. Max HE. Probably a good idea. Just because those HE shells slap so hard. And also, if it's going to be used for, you know, showing the flag and keeping people in line, the threat of 12 20-inch HE shells landing in your rebel base, that ought to keep people from doing anything stupid. Advanced radio, because it's a flagship. Electro hydro and a little bit of shaft and a little bit of auxiliary engine. I'm not gonna bother too much with the armor on this. Actually, it's gonna have some armor, but I will reduce it a bit from what it is currently. Main guns will have armor though. I don't want to have those knocked out. They're gonna also be 20.5s. They're gonna also be 55 calibers in length. There we go, 50 kilometer AP range, 47 with HE. That is good. Conning tower, yes. Main belt 18 is the maximum here. For nav belts, we've found out that need to be at least protecting the ship from cruiser fire. Range is still plenty of range, by the way. And when I control most of the world, finding a gas pump is not going to be much of a problem. Don't worry too much about that plunging fire. It's not a big deal. In fact, I will reduce the main belt. There we go. That can rotate all the way around. I have to wait to offset even. Why is that? I don't care. Secondary guns. I want to have some of those on barbettes. Just not impeding the main guns. I get SX turret will not be able to traverse 360 degrees, but that is small sacrifice. A and Y turrets can, which is nice. Eight-inch guns as secondaries. Do you not fit here? I think you do if I just fiddle with you a little bit. If I'd picked another barbette for the X turret, of course this thing also Went away. Come on. There we go. It sits. If I pick another barbette, that should work. Because remember, shore bombardment is going to be one of the main jobs of this ship. Let's do the huge barbette. Is that too huge? It works. And, you know, that breakwater didn't make any sense being angled like that way anyway. Yeah, that makes sense. That works. That's fine. Alright. Tertiary armament. Just gonna quickly reduce the armor a little bit on the tops here. I want these to be 8.5s because apparently 0.5 is my favorite thing. And 55s. There we go. 20 kilometer AP range. That's pretty good. Maybe if we are focusing on shore bombardments, then surely high capacity HE would be preferred. And maybe semi-ballistic or normal capped for AP. Yeah, let's do my my normal thing. Those HE shells just slap too much when they hit. What else do we need on this ship? Anti-torpedo blisters. Maybe they don't need to be the best. What is the resistance of this? 143. A bit of an ash weight offset still, but it's really not bad. And I like the look of this. That is an imposing battleship design. If I do say so myself, that is very nice looking. I like these quad 2-inch guns. They should, in theory, fit a lot of places, but they don't. They don't fit anywhere. Come on, game. Stop. Do the triples fit? They fit. Just in case any you know, X-Wing pilots get too cocky. Let's see. I wish I had some better looking 4-inch guns, 3-inch guns. They don't really fit anywhere, so no. I mean, I'd have to do weird stuff with barbettes and stuff. I think we're basically where I want to be here with this design. Or are we? No, I want to have these two on barbettes. And then, you know, get to fill this in with some lesser secondaries. What kind of barbettes, though? Is this too small? Let's go a medium. And they do mirror, thankfully. Somehow this turret got worse arcs of fire, but that is fine. Because now we can fit some 5.9s. Looking almost comically small. There we go. And lots of like free deck space for you know, public events. .9. Do they still fit? They do. Nice. I'm liking this. Where to shave off 1,000 tons? That's the question. Maybe from the aft belt and the fore belt. I said I needed more extended belt thickness, but maybe maybe I went a little bit too far in a few places. This does need a bit more armor though. It is very fragile. What else to do? Is my no flashfire chance still 0? Can I drop this down to barbette 1? Yes, I can. Can I drop it down to barbette none? Yes, that's still 0. Who needs barbette protection when you still have a flashfire chance of 0? And with that, suddenly the ship just works. We have weight to spare, even. Not a whole lot of weight, but actually quite a bit of weight. Quite a bit of weight to spare. A surprising amount of weight to spare. 0% flashfire chance. With no barbette protection. That is the magic of repeatable explosives technology. Let's find a name for this. So I thought, since we're kind of doing the big empire thing now, and this was supposed to be my my superstar destroyer. I'm not really too big into Star Wars lore, but I know there was one called the Executor, and the last Executor in Norway was Theodor Larsen, born in was it 1841, died 1892. Performed the last 4 executions in Norway, all of them with an axe. So that is the namesake of this class. I just like how those two dual funnels look on that tower. That is pretty slick. I am digging this design. It's gonna be the new task force flagship. Big hitter. Although not the biggest one in the fleet. That will still be Edvard Grieg. I can just not build anything of that size. Even if I max out everything on this hull, I just don't have access to that huge German super battleship hull. I can go up to 100 if the displacement of this was maxed out from the German factories, it could go up to 150,000, which is insane. And with that, 3 new battleships are being constructed. I'm going to build more once the okay, these 2 are actually still being built, and we also have those 2 other ships being refit, Dovre and Jotunheim, 3 months each. So yeah, I have to build more of those. And next episode, unless there is a war with someone, but I doubt that. It's only 5 years left until my retirement. Next episode, we're gonna go through, if not all of the designs. There might actually be a war with Britain, just because I've now gone and allied myself with half the world, and Britain is being hostile to people. But if that doesn't happen, next one we're gonna go through, if not all, but at least some of the most notable designs of the campaign. Luckily, I've kept a lot of the old ships around as museum ships. For some of them, we might just have to rely on older screenshots that I've taken. I haven't deleted any of those either, so they should still be around. The ones I used for thumbnails and stuff. So I know some of you requested that. For some others, that might not be very interesting. But I will see you next time. Goodbye, and take care.